up, everybody? Another day, another dollar. Today is Wednesday, and these are the top 5 things to know today in financial markets. Kicking things off at number one, following perhaps the wildest 2 days in the history of oil markets, we'll continue to focus on price action in crude. We saw that Brent prices briefly fell to their lowest level since June 1999 in the overnight trading session. The global benchmark, which yesterday plunged 24%, fell to a 21-year low of $15.99 per barrel earlier. At last check, prices have since recovered, trading at around the $19 mark. Meanwhile, US WTI prices are holding steady at around the $11 level. We get weekly supply data from the Energy Information Administration at 10:30 a.m. this morning, and expectations are that the report will show a build of around 15 million barrels last week. So obviously that will reflect the collapse in demand and underlying fears over the supply glut and worries that we're reaching, that global storage is reaching full capacity. On to number two. Coronavirus-related developments will remain front and center this morning as well. We got news yesterday that governors of about half a dozen U.S. states plan to partially reopen their economy in the days ahead. However, health officials have warned that doing so could spark a second wave of infections. The United States by far has the biggest number of confirmed cases, with the number standing at more than 820,000 infections as of this morning, with over 45,000 deaths. Be sure to check out my weekly stock article in which I focused on 3 stocks which are set to enjoy a coronavirus-related earnings bump as they report in the days ahead. I focused on Domino's Pizza, on Teladoc, and of course Clorox, one of the big winners of the coronavirus crisis. So be sure to go over to Investing.com and check that out. Leave a comment, as always, that will be appreciated. On to number 3, stocks on Wall Street look set for a strong session today following 2 days of heavy selling. The Dow futures are pointing to a gain of about 1% at the open. Helping sentiment, Senate Republicans and Democrats reached agreement on a $484 billion lending program in order to aid small businesses and hospitals and to provide funds for COVID-19 testing. So stocks yesterday, like I said, took a tumble with the Dow dropping 600 points as fears over the turmoil in oil markets weighed on risk assets. On to number 4. In another big day for earnings, we get results from AT&T and Delta Airlines in ahead of the opening bell, while after the close, Las Vegas Sands will highlight the earnings calendar. Meanwhile, Netflix shares will likely be in focus today after releasing Q1 results after Tuesday's closing bell. Its subscriber growth numbers blew past expectations. However, it did miss on the bottom line. In addition to Netflix, we saw Snapchat and Chipotle also release results, with both looking for strong days ahead. For a strong day ahead, with Snap up around 20% in pre-market after beating on daily average users as well as revenue expectations. And finally, heading back to commodities markets, gold prices are up around 2% this morning after powering above the $1,700 mark. We saw prices hit a session high of $1,728 per ounce. Since then, gold has pulled back slightly to around the $1,720 per ounce level. Overall, I like gold at these levels as long as central banks and governors continue to print and provide liquidity that should serve to the benefit of gold. That's it for me for today. May the trading gods be with you. Have a good one, everybody. Stay safe and stay healthy.